Okay, live chat is on. Okay, buddies. I said it would start at 7:34 p.m. on the dot. We're 4 minutes late. I'm a woman. Story of my life. All right, let's hit the mic. Everybody, all of you, pay attention. Quiet down. Welcome to the Bundy Open Mic, monthly, every third Thursday. Thanks for coming out. Woo! We're doing something special today. It's a live stream for the tutors. Team Tutor, represent. My dad is also here. And Dad, I got jokes about my pubes. I'm not changing the plan. All right, anyway. Oh, give it up for our bartender Lee and our sound guy. He does it all. He's a Renaissance man. Okay, let's get started, buddies. We got to talk about Elon Musk. I don't think anybody's talking about him. And the most pressing issue, which is this guy is in control of our government and he's addicted to ketamine. That's what killed Chandler. That's not something to mess around with. And it's not productive. Take it from me. I've done ketamine like 2 or 3 dozen times. And I know from experience, finances and executing plans, it's not possible. I'll tell you, the last time I did ketamine, I told you this, Dad. I ended up in the security office at the Philadelphia Met. I went into a K-hole, I face planted, 2 nice Samaritans took me in there, and I was like tripping balls. And there was like a kid there with a clipboard, and I'm like, he's taking a psychological assessment of me, thinking like the cops are gonna come in. I realized afterwards he had the guest list and he was just flexing. The manager came in and I could see his thoughts and I fell in love with him. And then I started to come to, and I became really close friends with the 2 security guards, Steve and Bigger Steve. And I was telling them jokes, they gave me cookies, and then they told me to come back anytime. I haven't been back, but ketamine, you build relationships. But that's what happens when you're nice. You catch bees with honey. You don't do Nazi salutes. So, Elon Musk, speaking of Nazis, we got some straight up Nazi slogans going on. Let's talk about the spinoff. MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. I think that we should go back to the good old days when people died from syphilis in insane asylums. But now we haven't figured out there's a better place for that. It's called prison. And MAGA, I really want them to slap a P on the end. Make America great again, please. Make America great again. That sounds like you're commanding me. Don't tell me what to do. This is America. Ask me nicely, with please. I'll be more on board. I heard a really weird fact about road rage, which is every 18 hours, and I don't know, this was AI generated, who can believe that, but every 18 hours, somebody gets shot from a road rage incident, and then they go to prison and die from syphilis. No, but really, road rage, everybody seems to get it to some degree. Has anybody experienced road rage?
Oh, yeah.
What gets you going? What's your pet peeve?
Not letting me in if I'm trying to merge over. There's plenty of space.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just move to the next lane over. That's what it's there for. And then you can come back. Right. It's like being a conscientious driver. What gets me is tailgating. I get nervous when somebody is riding my ass. I can only go as fast as the person in front of me. And I'm going to leave room. I'm going to leave 5 car lengths. Steve Brown isn't here, so that's good. If he offers me a ride, I'll be like, oh, that's okay. Sorry, Steve, you're not gonna watch this. Nobody's gonna say anything. But if there's any place where that happens, it would be the Vestal Parkway. And there was this one time where like both lanes going 40 miles per hour, side by side, holding hands, and like everybody's behind me thinking like I'm a jerk. And I'm just like, I gotta get out of this situation. I found an opening, I passed the one on the right or the left, one on the right, and it was like a sweet zip-zap move. And I noticed a Tesla was following me. Okay, no, I'm kidding. Which, by the way, I saw a Tesla with a decal on it that said like "fuck Elon Musk." So it's like, hey, I have the Tesla, but I don't support the man. But yeah, he was following me, and I'm like, I must have pissed him off somehow. I don't know. And I pulled over to get gas. He got stopped at a stoplight, and he rolled down his window, and he goes, "Nice driving, lady." And so I gave him the finger, and he said, "No, I'm giving you a compliment. That was really nice driving. Everybody's driving like jerks out there." That's a true story, by the way. I was actually going to Steve's house. And then I was like, "Oh, thank you. I love compliments about driving." I'm working on my physical comedy, guys. All right. So, okay, Dad, I didn't plan on you being here. But, okay, first, this is PG. Or this is just rated G. So I'm a terrible dancer, but I'm very creative, and I came up with my own dance moves based on single-cell organisms. So everybody, here's the paramecium. Thank you. All right, sit down. The next one is the euglena. You don't remember the flagellum? I should have warned you that this is biology, PTSD, but I mean, everybody knows this one. It's the amoeba. Okay, everybody, sit, calm down. I still have more jokes. I know that was great. All right, Dad, here it goes. All right, so I told this joke about Madonna, but I was going to just tell it about myself. I'm pantomiming. I'm working on pantomiming. So this is me miming my vagina. This is a joke. This is a flashlight. Yes, this isn't pantomiming. I'm talking. This is throwing a hot dog down the hallway. All right, stop clapping. We got more jokes. What'd you say?
He said if I clap, the health department's going to come.
Yeah, the whole health department, just the guys, no homo. I am a homo though. It's short for homeowner. You know what? Maybe I'll come back and I'm already locked into the pubes. Okay, so I'm a redhead. I get the question, does the carpet match the drapes? Everybody's heard that before, aka do you dye your hair red or are you natural? And it's like the answer isn't that simple. So I just have to, answer their question with another question and another metaphor. So I say, have you ever looked at the sunrise through a dirty windshield? Have you ever looked at a bale of hay in the sunset? Have you ever seen orange sorbet covered in sand? It's that color. But then I thought, well, hey, why don't you guys see for yourselves? Maybe people could come up with a funnier metaphor than me. So on my OnlyFans, I have a picture, and I've asked my tutor followers, hey, what color do you think this is? Be funny and descriptive. And the winner gets to be in the punchline for real. And the deadline is 4/20, but this is my favorite so far. I hope you're watching, but have you ever seen a leprechaun get his beard stuck in a toaster? So I have really great fans. I've never been so proud about being insulted. And yeah, cute jokes. Just for you, Dad. Okay. Thanks, everybody. That's it for me. Woo! Our next comic is not Jerry. It's my favorite comedian in the world. Bill Lake, everybody!
Nailed it. Favorite comedian just above Ken Jennings. I'm still not sure how I feel about that.
It's great.
Here's a weird coincidence. People often always ask me to do my carpets match my drapes, and the way I describe how my pubes look is imagine looking at a sunset through a dirty windshield covered in my pubes. That's exactly what my pubes look like. All right, I have this friend named George. He's a very curious guy, so naturally we have nicknamed him Mind Your Own Damn Business, George. I have another friend, his name is Tim, and he's tiny. He's a tiny little guy, so we have nicknamed him Ford F-150 Tim. That was her name. Hey, I read this today. Setting up a bat house in your backyard is a great way to control pests in your neighborhood, like little kids who are afraid of vampires. Is anybody watching this? I think it's important in this day and age with all the electronics we have and how attached we are to our smartphones to just unplug once in a while, spend some time just hanging out with people. Once a week at my house, we have what I call unplugged fun. We sit around the dining room table, we all put our phones away, and we unplug and plug grandma back in. Game of life, if you will. Decided to surprise my elderly neighbor while she was out of town, and I planted flowers all around her front porch and her front walkway. And when she got home, she came over and she knocked on my door. She looked like she'd been crying. And she said she just wanted me to know that, whereas before she would have to get on the city bus and go 5 blocks to the community gardens, now she just has to walk out her front door to have her allergies triggered. So that was sweet. I always carry a couple of sandbags in my car during the wintertime. That way, if somebody gets stuck on the ice, I can pull over and rip open those bags and go, hey, this wouldn't happen if you lived at the beach. That's helpful. Here's something you can do that'll make you feel good. If you're on a flight and you see like a mom all by herself with a couple of little kids on that flight, toddlers, especially if it's a baby, they're crying, they're fussing, they're a lot of trouble, help that family off the flight before you land. That makes me feel good every time I do it. Okay. I like to volunteer, but I will admit I'm a little bit lazy about it. Recently, I started mentoring a no-risk youth. That's going good. I haven't made your dad laugh yet tonight. I also I coach an amputee basketball team. And I don't want to brag, but I'm such a motivational coach that when I formed that team, none of my players were amputees yet. So, what's the sick ones? Actually once taught an illiterate guy to read, as far as he knows. What else? My wife started to buy only cosmetics that are not tested on animals. But honestly, it sucks to spend all that money on cosmetics, apply them, only to find out then they look terrible on your rabbit. Test those things out first. All right. I know this couple, they're what you call early adopters. They get all the latest technology before anyone else. They've actually bought themselves a digital tombstone. This is a real thing. It's a display. Over your grave, you can load pictures, video, audio of your life for perpetuity, and it is powered by burying a couple next to each other with their heads at opposite ends. It's a battery joke.
I thought it was a $60 joke.
Well, Delia, get your mind out of the gutter. Not every joke is about pubes. Here's the definition of irony. I was once sprayed by a skunk as I was walking to a costume party dressed as a skunk. And I thought, well, at least I'll win most realistic costume. I didn't. I got beat out by the guy who sprayed me. Very realistic. The other day, I drove an elderly neighbor to a doctor's appointment because I didn't want to have that colonoscopy. I'm like, yes, this is Mr. Lake. He forgets sometimes, but I'll be back in a few hours. Sometimes I wish I could be a turtle, that way people wouldn't question why I like to eat straws. We've all heard these. I've heard these. Once saw a stripper make ping pong balls fly out from between her legs. Yeah, I think the most impressive part about that is the muscle control necessary to grip that paddle. Okay, in college I took a class, we were given an assignment, we had to write a paper on an endangered species of bird. Like an idiot, I picked a species that wasn't actually endangered. So I had a lot more work to do than my classmates. Killed a lot of birds in that joke. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to get better, but just in case it gets worse, I think I'll stop right now. Thank you. Next up, Ken Jennings.
Let's hear it again for Bill Lake. Okay, tutors, online tutors, you gotta follow Bill Lake at Bill Lake Comedy, spelled as it sounds. And Bill's got a show coming up in Waverly, New York. Hey, you're from France, Kevin? Come on out. Waverly, New York, everybody. On May 1st at the Legacy Lounge. And you know what? Our next comic just happens to be performing there as well. So everybody, my favorite Latin lover and yours, Giacomo!
All right, what is up? Hi, hey, hello YouTube. I'm not the tutor you want, but I'm the one that you can afford. Yeah, so I'll start with the joke. Yeah, I think so. I don't like to talk about relationships, but I do. For example, I do like messing like with my girl, like when we're like getting hot and frisky. I do like we play this game called Rock Paper Scissors. If I win, we have to do my favorite move, missionary. That's when she lies on her back and I talk to her about Jesus Christ. If she wins, we do her favorite move, doggy style. That's when I rub her belly, we go to the park, and I let her play with the dogs, and tell her she'll always be my good girl. Damn, I don't know if that's a good one or not. So there's no real transition to this, so I'm just gonna. So like there's just. All right, so here's the thing about glory holes.
Yes.
Yeah, man. There's only one transition. It's just a hole, and no, but I think so. The thing about glory holes is that like once the hole is created, it's just as permanent as the wall is. the hole just stays there. And if you want to go to a glory hole, you really want to be like the Goldilocks of it. You don't want to be too low or too high. You want to be just right. And if it's too low, then you end up bending your knees. And then you want to be as close to the wall as you can, because then you're going to lose inches. And for me, I'll just get 1 inch over if I'm bending, or 6 inches if you're black. That's a pro black dick joke. But there could be multiple holes, I'm sure. But then that would be awkward, like a urinal. And I don't know if you females out there, if you guys ever seen a urinal, but it's just an egg shape, and they just drill it to the wall, and you just pee in there. And there's a metal thing that divides you guys. Without it, it's just gay. So that's a urinal. But I think the real winner is the architect creating the hole, because I mean, he could name the hole after himself, because that's the guy who made it. So it only makes sense. This is, I don't know, John Doe. Even if the hole is created, all you really need is like a couple. I mean, it could be any girl or guy, but you have to test it out to make sure it's working properly. You just wrote the 3 ingredients is just a hole, a guy, and a girl, and then the penis goes through the hole, and then you just imagine what happens afterwards. So I've been doing a lot of research on this topic. And I'm pretty sure my laptop is going in the shredder after this. It's a lot. I don't know if you guys know about this, but there is a whole website, and it's called Hole Hunter. It's true. 50,000 holes, if you guys were wondering. I just made that up. But I said it, and you guys said, yeah, that's right. But, yeah, 50,000 holes, and I know because I checked personally. I left a review. Good service. Chicken wings could be better. 4 out of 5. Some people say, dude, that's disgusting. Stop talking about glory holes. And I like to think of myself as a pioneer. No one else is going out there. None of you guys are. So I'm the one who's spearheading this movement. Hi, Charlotte. Speaking of glory holes, so glory holes is it's a dark place. It's a dark place behind the glory hole, and who's behind it? I don't know. Dracula. It's Dracula. I found to suck your dick. I'm getting better at that accent. A Puerto Rican accent. A Puerto Rican Dracula accent. Yeah, but yeah, that's Dracula shit. And he, I don't know, I think that voice is kind of crazy. I don't think that's a real voice. Like, I feel like if I sit him down, I can just be like, hey man, what's really going on in your life? And he'll just say, man, he lost the accent, by the way. I don't know, it's just, there's a guy, and he's a millionaire, and he dresses up like a bat, and he fights crime, and I don't think that's a proper representation of who we are as a bat community. And he likes glory holes, so. Okay, I gotta find an ending to that.
Work it out now.
Alright, well, the punchline is there, well, it's gone now, but I can go back.
What about a cave, a glory cave?
A glory cave?
Yeah.
Glory cave, bats give head? Is that a thing? No. No, that's, no. COVID.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, COVID happened. Yeah. And also, that's probably the quickest way to getting blood is an erect penis. You know when guys say, oh, the girl used too much teeth? That's Dracula. Yes, that's an impression of Dracula at a glory hole. Shit. I don't know, is there more glory hole talk? I don't know, man. That guy's spaced out. I'm starting to feel it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to talk about more holes. Hey, there's a Reddit post. I don't know if you guys know about Reddit, but there's a Reddit post, and it was about a girl who her sole purpose in life is to be the person behind the glory hole. And the first question was, how have you ever had STDs? And she goes, no. And they're like, how? And she goes, I just use a flashlight. I don't know what that means, but it stops STDs. So, all right.
For real?
It's good, yeah.
Oh wait, she's on the guy's side.
She's.
So she's bringing a flashlight into somebody's mouth.
No, she's just like expecting it, like a car change, like an oil change.
Oh, nobody's there.
No, she's looking at a dick. Yeah, it's a dick for sure.
Okay.
I mean, I guess if you watch, there's no real STDs don't exist, right? Okay. It's over. Alright, that's time. That's my time. That's enough. Alright, thanks. Bye.
One more time, J. Clo. The best beginning to any set. Okay, I'll start with a joke. That got me. All right, next up is Pale, and I'm so glad he's here. Last time here, I think like May of last year. Anyway, welcome back to Jimmy Shay. Woo!
Jimmy. Thank you to all my avid Dundee goers, to the tutors. I salute you. So yeah, I've been single most of my life, and I'm 31 years old. So it's gonna be a lot of sex jokes coming up. So let's get ready. I think we should all be able to agree that sex as a man is definitely a lot harder than it is for a female. Now, I'm not saying you may chuckle. Now, you're going to be on my side after this. More enjoyable, for sure. Absolutely more enjoyable for men. But ladies, you're about 6 years away, I think, at this point, from being replaced by sex robots. I mean, your job is so easy that the thing that's taking your place is, please, come. Yes, Daddy. The big one's hurt. Yours is perfect. Thank you so much. it's we're easy to please, but I guess the benefit of the growth of sex robots is going to be maybe hopefully a drop in STDs. So there's my transition to. I feel like HPV is like the single A rookie ball of the STD community. Like what does that support group look like? Are they even invited? Do you get to, as an HPV character, you're a carrier, are you even invited to those support groups? And if you are, what is that dynamic? Here comes fucking Shay again. You got somebody here that's riddled with herpes or syphilis or AIDS, something uncurable, and here's Shay to complain about how tough her life is with HPV and the struggle that she has to deal with. So, what do you get when you come on a girl with eczema? Frosted Flakes. What do you get? This is no, sorry. It's a family friendly joke. It's all about cereal. What do you call it when a black woman queefs? That's a cocoa puff. And what do you get when a gay man passes a kidney stone? Those are some fruity motherfucking pebbles. So I had a bit of a struggle in my life when I was in high school. I went to high school in the state of Maine. There was really a pretty bad case sexual assault against the entire high school football team, which I was a part of. So that did have a shaping in my life. And sometimes people, before you're going to judge me, I ask each and every one of you, if you were to put yourself in my shoes, how could your life be different if you had to do 6 months in prison for sexual assault of your entire football team? Unfortunately, my mustache isn't quite growing out long enough for this joke to work perfectly, but I feel like, so I'm 31 years old, and I understand I look like I could have graduated high school yesterday. When I do grow out my mustache, I kind of like to think of myself as the pedophile paradox. Like, from one angle, you'd be like, I would not trust this guy to babysit my kids. But then from another angle, depending on how you look at me, it's like, is he a kid himself? Is he 12? Is he 13? I don't know. Does he molest over 13-year-olds, or is he 13? I have a friend of mine, a coworker, Arian, really good guy. Unfortunately, though, he actually has a really rare genetic condition that requires very expensive surgeries. And so me trying to do my part, I wanted to organize a fundraiser for him. So organized this 5K, and I gotta say I was disappointed in the outcome. Needless to say, Arian's race for better genes didn't exactly pan out the way I was hoping it would. But I've recently been remodeling my bathroom, and I kind of ran into a home improvement issue for the DIYers that are out there. Little like paint swatches for what color you want to paint your walls, your cabinets, or whatever. They're not adhesive, so if you're really trying to compare, you can't just kind of stick them up and see exactly where they are. But fortunately, I'm going to solve that with swatch stickers. So I'm from Maine. I've got the New England accent. So swatch stickers, I think, is going to be just the final solution in home improvement. You can just you got to paint a wall, just stick it right up there. See, Elon Musk is an investor, so I think it's going to be going well. It's going to take right off for me. I'm going to end it on a happy note, though. So I don't know if you guys know this, but actually, I'm not going to. I'll get to the happy note. It's not there just yet. There's during birthing, sometimes there can be complications with the delivery. In which case, the baby isn't going to be able to come out right. And in order for the baby to live and for a safe delivery for the mother, they have to break the baby's arms in order for it to be delivered. And that's definitely pretty gloomy, but I like to look at, the silver lining of everything, and with the darkness, there are good things, in this world. Like, there's a guy that gets paid to just break babies' arms. How do you sign up for that job? That's the job I would like, but I guess I'm just going to stay a comedian for now. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
One more time for Jimmy Shay. So that's two people who did the Nazi salute tonight. And considering it's 2025, nothing's going to happen to us. The government loves us. Just kidding. Our next comedian is a casual observer who's riding his bike. And he's like, you know what? It's all comedians here. Why the heck not? So, Tony, you want to come on? Or, hey.
No camera?
Oh, yeah, let me pause this. All right, tuners. Hey, Egan and Daniel, how do I pause? Oh, okay. Let me just go like this, and I'll
I think of hosting a comedy show like it's like being a janitor at a high school. Because like the teacher, they get all credit. They can't get in the building without the fucking janitor. And I'm the janitor of the comedy show. So it's cool. I did a show in Bainbridge, New York. And it's a fun show. I had a pretty good set. Feature and the headliner had better sets than I did. And afterward, this guy comes up to me. I'm putting away equipment. And he shakes my hand. He goes, "Hey man, thank you so much for doing this show." And he points the headline of the feature and he goes, "They were great." And he walked away and let me think about all the words he didn't say, like, "You were good too." You know, it's fun. And he goes to the bar, and I'm watching him, and he gets about halfway, and he comes back and he goes, "That's not how I meant it to sound." I was like, too late, because I've already thought about 6 ways I could drive right into that tree and make it look like an accident. So thank you for that. I don't want to brag, I got a burned area. Yeah. I was in there I want to get Reese's sticks, because I'm 11. And I put it down on the chocolate milk Reese's sticks, and the cashier is like scanning it. And I just said hi or whatever, and she goes, "You look very familiar." And in my mind, I'm like, oh, she knows me for doing comedy in Binghamton. Like my ego is high, and I'm like, maybe it's just a show or a show poster. And then she said, "Do you go to Taco Bell a lot?" Because I used to work at the drive-thru, and I recognize your voice and face. I was like, oh shit. And that was humbling. But like I think the worst part is that now she knows where I eat for lunch too. And if I rewind the whole thing, I just give back 10 seconds and put a banana on the register too. So she knows that I know what a fruit is. Cool. All right, that's fine. My girlfriend, all right, how many people here have to check in with their girlfriend or boyfriend, husband, wife, before they go home? Cool, all right, I'm the only one that's not trusted. All right. Do you have to check in with your wife? When you go home?
Well, married.
Yeah, I figured. Like, so before you go home, do you have to message, "Hey, I'm on my way back"?
Sometimes.
Do you know the reason?
No, not really.
I have to do it, and I think it's to let my girlfriend's boyfriend know that I'm on the way. Like give him a little bit of time to get out of the house. Give him a head start. Be a nice guy. And here's the real reason. Like she wants me to text her to let her know I'm on the way, so she doesn't worry. But I think it's like I know for sure it's because she doesn't want me walking in on her masturbating. And I'm like, I could help. She's like, "Nah, you just ruined the mood." I was like, "All right, cool." And here's the problem. I didn't check in one time, and I actually walked in and I'm masturbating. And I'm like, "Hey, let me have a crack at it." She's like, "Nah, you fuck it up." I'm done. I'm like, "All right, cool." The girl that's funny. She's mean. She called me a wannabe comedian once, and I was like, "This pays our rent." Like the government, I file on my taxes as a comedian. Like the government knows I'm a comedian, but my girlfriend is on the fence. So I told her that. I'm like, "Hey, every year, April 15th, I file comedian on my taxes." She's like, "Yeah, all you do is write that on the paper. If you had to submit a set to the government, you'd be arrested for tax fraud." Like, all right, cool. So, yeah, I got zero back too. It's a great business. Being a comedian, this is a shitty part. Being a comedian, like in order to, every year, I just try to prove to the government that I'm horrible at business, so I don't have to pay anything. It's pretty great. When my girlfriend, we've been dating 4 years, and when she introduced the thought of me to her family, she was at her parents' house, and she said, "Yeah, I met this cool guy. His name's Mike. He's pretty cool. He's handsome. You know how people lie to their parents." And so her mom's like, "Well, what does he do for a living?" And my girlfriend said, "He's a comedian, I guess." And her mom's like, "Was he funny?" And she's like, "He gets paid for it." So I'm like, you know what? I'll fucking take it. And I'm going to marry that fucking bitch. So I love this job. It's my favorite job I've ever had. Bill, I think is the only one. Maybe you were there. Maybe during the pandemic, we had to do like the open mics and some shows outdoors, and they were fun. Not everybody thought it was great. I remember I was starting the show. I hosted the show. So did Mike, and I'm going through a joke that I'd done before, and it had done well. And as I'm telling this joke, this older woman and her like two friends like sat down like chairs, and as I'm getting to about the punchline, she goes, "That's it, I'm out of here," and walked away. Like she left, and that woman called the town on me. Yeah, like the town of Endicott. Do you have any idea how much you have to hate a person to get the government involved? It's bad. And the thing that really bothered me is like she didn't say it to my face, and I thought that was a weak move. You like me? Say it to my face. If my grandma can do it, so can you. So let's go. So yeah, the town called me. It was a thing, but it was funny. But being a comedian, it's like one of those few jobs where we're asking the public to judge us while we're doing our job, and that's interesting to me. Like I was a sports reporter for a lot of years, and people would complain about what I wrote, but the next day, like once it got into the paper or online, they complained. I never had my editor stand behind me saying, "You missed a comma and your mother should have had an abortion." We can just go to HR and admit that. So, I don't know. But I think being a comedian is a really fun way to tell your parents that they've wasted a whole lot of money in your college tuition. Because my sister, she's a forensic psychologist, studied that in school, and now she makes $100,000 a year. I'm in school for journalism, switched into a lower paying field, believe it or not, comedy. And I one time opened for the guy who played Skippy on Family Ties. So we are on very different career paths. I told my aunt I was going to be, or I told my dad I was going to be a comedian. And the only thing he said was, "How's the 401k in comedy land?" Which I thought was really rude. I was like, on a really good day, I might get like 3 or 4 drink chips. If a great day, maybe the guy in the back wasn't looking, I could snag a wing. It'd be an awesome night. I told my grandma I was going to be, or I told my aunt I was going to be a comedian. And she said, "Did I ever tell you about the time I was a stripper?" It's like, no, but this is a Christmas I'm never going to forget. So, thanks. You guys want to hear that joke? Bill and Jerry don't, but you guys want to hear that joke that got me reported? All right, cool. We got some aunts and uncles here, right? Yeah. I'm an uncle. I love being an uncle. I think being an uncle, being an aunt is way better than being a parent, because I can go for weeks at a time without remembering I have a niece and nephew, and I won't go to jail. We're much tougher as a parent. So I think I'm a fun uncle. My nephew, he's always been a funny kid. When he was 6 years old, he was in the tub, and I was in the living room because I know how laws work. And my nephew comes out of the tub, he puts a towel around his waist, and comes out to the living room and says, "Uncle Mikey, look." I was like, "No." Then he's like, "No, you gotta look." And as I turn to my nephew, he spreads his legs like this and undoes the towel. It drops, and I'm looking right at it, and he goes, "Are you jealous?" And I know it's like uncouth to talk about a naked child in front of people, like in this setting, but that thing was enormous. It was big enough to sell cigarettes to 6th graders. I mean, it had an elbow. Like it gets booked on more comedy shows than I do. It's so like I had to be honest with him. I was like, yeah, I'm terrified. I am jealous. And it was either that or risk a black eye as he angrily whipped around on the way to the bathroom. It's an injury I don't want to tell my brother-in-law. Yeah, your son gave me a black eye with his penis. I don't know how you're going to describe that. So my nephew, he turns 21 next week. His dick will turn 38. Okay. So I told my sister, I wrote the joke, and I wanted to run it past her, get her approval. And she's like, "Yeah, everything's fine, but I'm pretty sure he was 4. I was like, "Cool, I'll think about that for a little bit." But all right, guys, thanks so much. Bye.
Every time. Me and Mike have a secret handshake. It's so secret, neither of us knows what it is. Every time. All right, one more time for Mike Peters. Mike, I didn't get a chance to ask, what shows do you got coming up? I know these guys, one in PA?
Yep, Biglersville and like Gettysburg.
Bigglers? Oh, are you gonna dress up? Are you gonna be a Confederate? Just after. So you told that joke about a 4-year-old's penis and the lady called city of Endicott.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry, but also Mike is I'm sorry, but journalism, I'm glad you got out of it because that's when you got stabbed.
Yeah.
In Baltimore. I don't know why you don't talk about how you've been stabbed so many times or at all. I'm so impressed. He was on the phone with his grandma. It isn't my story to tell, but ask him. It's great. So our final comic, I'm proud to call her my friend. Everybody needs an eccentric friend, and she's always going to be barely legal to me. The hot Shay Ghost of it all.
Oh my gosh, live stream. Hi everybody. Yes, I have a show called Sexy Astrology on YouTube, and I got a channel, Miss Cherry Strawberry. She's a poet and a psychic and a dream interpreter, and she does exercise in 5-inch heels. Works out in 5-inch heels. Oh my God, I'm having an elder moment. Hi, I'm Charlotte, and I'm an alcoholic. It's true, I am an alcoholic. I am so blessed. I was at a memorial directly before coming here, and it was just a mob scene. And this guy was a punk rock drummer, so it was like a hardcore show. And Julian Pompilio, my friend from high school, and I even did my hair a little bit. Do you see?
Yeah.
Not really, no. Like, I have a hard time with hair and makeup. You know what I'm saying, man? I'm like, just be good in bed. That's what I say. Just be good in bed. Be good in the sack and you'll be all right. You know, I want to share something. My cell phone is always listening to me. And it's like sending me weight loss stuff. And I'm like, that's interesting. And they're like, lose 50 pounds. And it's like, well, if I lost 50 pounds, I'd weigh 80. Attractive, right? Anyway, I feel like kind of a scarecrow. The older I get, I got a sleep injury the other night. Oh, man, my back is killing me. I can't really get up and down out of a chair very easily, and I'm hoping it'll just go away, you know. But anyway, menopause, what up? Yeah, I'm in a cougar revolution. And I always have to kick my shoe out when I say that. I'm a cougar. I'm a low-key cougar. Okay, it runs in the family. Yeah. My grandma, she was a cougar, and she lied about her age. They're all from Boston, okay? We're Jewish, Irish, Canadian on that side, turned Catholic because it was my granddad who was the Jew, and he married a Catholic, and that was it, right? That's how it goes. Like, I don't know anything about Judaism except that one thing, that it's like through the mommy. So I got nothing else about that, but it does run in the family. And, you know, I've always known that I've been different. I've always known I've been like a little bit kind of a strange person. I started out really quiet. I didn't talk till I was 12 because I was terrified of my mother. My mom's a malignant narcissist. She used to beat the shit out of me. From a young age, I'd be like this, I'd be like, you little fucking bitch. Don't you fucking cry, I'll fucking hook your ass, I'll make you cry. Harder, you little fucking bitch. And I wish there was some way to dress that up. There isn't, so I keep sharing about it because I think if I keep talking about it, eventually I won't need to. I'm salivating a little bit, but yes, and my mom was a cheat and a cougar. Oh my God, that is triple digit, man. Aren't you jealous? So I became a criminal. Made sense, right? As a teenager, I didn't graduate high school. I ran with all the bad boys. People know I like the bad boys, but I like the smart ones today, and I also like the sober ones because they got great stories, man. It's just like if you survive that lifestyle, you have some stories. You have good stuff to share. I luckily stopped really young. I was like 21 when I stopped being a punk rocker. I started dressing really conservatively, and I had to stop listening to Fugazi and Fear and, the Dead Milkmen. I had to stop listening to all my favorite punk rock bands. It was really hard, and now I took it back. So it was really fun to be at this memorial today and just see punk's not dead, man. This crazy scene. I'm trying not to look at my notes, but look at me here. I am gonna. Okay, there's something else I need to share about that. Yeah, so I became a criminal. And I had really bad boundaries, okay? Like, I was the kind of person that when I didn't have a boyfriend that was trying to kill me, I would just sleep with anybody. So I was like, have a lot of people under my belt. I don't even remember their names. I have 53, though. Everybody has a number, right? How many people you fucked? Right? 53. I'm older than 53, so I feel like that's okay. 1 year. Except for the first 6. Right? Started having sex when I was 6. No, just kidding. It was younger than that. But anyway, so yeah, so I was a delinquent, I was a juvenile delinquent, and my kids, they don't want to be anything like me. They're grown. My youngest is 18, 19, and then I have a 24-year-old who is probably actually a lot like me and doesn't mind being like me. He looks like me. He behaves like me. He's a little in the clouds. He's a daydreamer. Dreaming is free, right? So I do a lot of it. But yeah, so my kids really don't want to be like me, and I'm okay with that. I'm really, really okay with that. Oh shoot, I fucked up the punchline. Oh, who cares? This is Binghamton, right? I know you are, but what am I? Yeah. So anyway, so I'm gonna have an empty nest soon. Yeah. And I decided, I'll leave you with this. I'm gonna run away from home because I can, and nobody's gonna give a shit except my boyfriend. And then, for me, like a little bit of my whole foreplay thing. He lives in Binghamton. We don't live together. We've been together for like 8.5 years, so long ass time. But to me, it's really enriching to get into your fantasy life. Like, I like pretending I'm homeless and getting picked up. So he actually fits the bill because he's a super evasive dude, man. And I'm like, some days, like, even if he doesn't come visit me in Ithaca, I live in Ithaca, on a Saturday, he'll wait the whole day. And I'll just be like, I'm not calling. I'm not going to call. No way, man. Nope, not me. 10 o'clock rolls around. He's like, oh, hey, how you doing? I've been asleep all day. And this guy's a lawyer. He was a junkie for 25 years, and then he went to law school. And at age 50, he graduated. Now he's a public defender in Binghamton, doing great. And he still has this funny behavior of like, kind of like not really available. And I have to say, I like him because, when the end of my life comes and I'm lying in the pine box, or maybe I'll get cremated, I don't know, but I'm like not going to want to be like the first thing. And she was a crazy codependent who was chasing Brian Smith all the time till the end of the earth. And I have my own life, being a daughter of a cheater, I really learned how to like other people matter more, like I got really codependent. And so part of my life is, okay, it's all about sex, number one, but the other thing is that it's, the journey is that I get to live my own life, and I don't have to gauge someone else's expression to live. You know what I mean? Like that's probably the opposite of comedy. I probably shouldn't be doing comedy with all these answers that I got. But you know, the fact is what matters is that I am living my own life. So that sounds so like middle-aged lady, and I am a middle-aged lady. But yeah, what else do I have today? It's nice to check in. Yeah, so one thing I want to share about money, magnetize money. See yourself making money. I'm very lazy. I just applied for 2 jobs today, and I'm like, I really need a job. I don't want to throttle anybody about it, but I'm trying to just think about it. They say if you do a mindset meditation, you'll get it. It'll come. So, I mean, Mike, right? The guy with the wife who's a bitch that I know she's actually really nice. I mean, if you could just visualize that she says, you know, you're legit, yo. You're legit. I promise you are. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm already dead. I love you guys. That's all I got.
Charlotte Ghost. One more time for Charlotte Ghost, everybody. I think I know more about Charlotte than I know about myself. She's great. This has been so much fun. Tutors, like, you're the only audience aside from my dad and Lee, the bartender. Everybody else went up tonight, so give yourselves a hand, everybody. Yay! This was so much fun. I felt so footloose and fancy free. So we'll be here again May 15th. It's the third Thursday, or as I like to call it, the Turds Day. So we'll see you next time. The Bundy rules. You guys rule. Thanks so much for coming. We love it. Good team. Woo! Okay, sit down, everybody. Shut up. Dad, do you want to go up?
No, thank you.
I
took public speaking already in high school, so.
You didn't take to it.
I failed.
You failed?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Dad, I only ever failed one test. You know, smart kid. You know what it was in?
What?
AP Calculus in high school. Yeah, so I mean,
Can you spell
but Dad, you know, it's not bad considering I was tripping balls on acid. I still got like a 55, so I mean, you do have a smart kid. Okay, hey, enough of me bragging. We'll see you next time. Thanks again. Bye, tutors.